What up, G-Life? It's your boy, MC Shadow, back at you with another video. Make sure you guys like, comment, and are subscribed to the channel. It's absolutely free. That's how you help my channel get into the algorithm. I highly appreciate if you go ahead and do that. You know what I mean? Don't cost nothing. It's on the G-Life. Now, I was asked a question by one of my subscribers. He had said that he noticed, from what he has, learned from back then and the whole street culture, Chicano culture, and everything like that. Marijuana seems to be in the picture, right? And so does the term stoner, right? Right, a lot of people use that as nicknames or names for their barrios, because he was saying that it's a trip. He didn't even know that Mara Salvatrucha used to be, the stoner was attached to that. That's what the S stood for. And other gangs out there that use stoner as cliques or nicknames or for their actual barrios, you know what I mean? I covered a video already talking about, all the stoner neighborhoods. And there was way more neighborhoods named Stoner, right? That had the stoner title attached to their barrio. But then, they, since then, had changed or moved, past that or dropped the stoner part to their neighborhood, you know what I mean? There's a lot of barrios out there that used to be stoner neighborhoods, right? Right? Just, individuals that used to like to, smoke weed, right? But why was it such a rooted into our culture, right? Into the street life and all that. See, you have to look at the times, right? At the times that these neighborhoods were sprouting out like wildfire, right? We're talking roughly around the 70s, right? When a lot of these neighborhoods were taking form, right? Where it started, obviously gangs had been around way before then, but I'm saying it started blowing up, in numbers, right? And spreading out, right? Marijuana was big. It was, people seeing the movement in the 70s, right? For the whole marijuana and hippies and yada, 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 right? So America had its views on how they viewed marijuana, right? Because of that reason, right? Because of migrant immigrants and racism is the reason why the drug got, made it legal in the first place, right? Because, marijuana has been in America's picture since as long back as the country's foundation, right? Obviously, people refer to it as cannabis or hemp, right? But nonetheless, it was in the picture, right? It was used to make clothing, rope, tea, medicine, and all of that, right? And they had no problem with it. Americans had no problem with it. It wasn't until Mexicans started coming, to America, right, and landing in places like Virginia, Texas, and et cetera, right, and that these jazz clubs and these jazz musicians, started now implementing it in their music, right, that it got a bad name, and people chose to crucify individuals and use this as a mean to push their overall message, right? This is why it's bad, because these individuals, when they're on that drug, they tend to become violent towards Caucasians, and Caucasian women. I'm not bullshitting. You guys can look all of this shit up. Yes, these are real arguments that they were using, bro, that it would make us evil, I guess. Only Hispanics and blacks, though. And people bought it, bro. People believed it. Why? Different times, bro. Different times. If something aligns with how you view things, you'll believe even the most far-fetched things just to get your point of view across, right? Is the ego of, individuals, you know what I mean? Obviously, research, has already debunked all of that, right? But anywho, so it was made illegal. And no, marijuana didn't come from Mexico. I hate that individuals always say that we brought marijuana over here, because of Mexico and marijuana. Mexico's not the creators of marijuana. It didn't even come from Mexico, bro. Shit, it wasn't even on this side of the continent for a long ass time. It's not until recent times that it's even over here on this side, bro. This stuff has been coming from places like Japan and China and Egypt long before, Mexico was in the picture, or Mexico was even a country, or long before even America was a country, bro. These people were already smoking marijuana in Japan, China, Egypt, and places like that, right? Ancient artifacts, bro, that there is, that you could look up ancient artifacts dating back to like 1323 or something like that. They found what could be only, assumed as a pipe, right? A smoking pipe with resin of marijuana in there. So they were smoking this stuff way before, you know what I mean? And then they, started bringing it over here, and then it ended up over here, and then the natives, and then all of that, right? I don't know if you guys want me to do a whole history on marijuana and everything like that. It's funny how people want to act like they know what they're talking about. They don't even know. No clue. Right? Because it wasn't the natives either, so don't think that, it was because the natives used to smoke. No. They were new to all of that too, right? Tobacco was more of their thing, right? But they were new to this, right? Anywho, right? So it became this, when it became this battle against immigration and this fight towards, minorities' rights and stuff like that. It was something that was pushed, right? And why they made it illegal, and these individuals, why they took more. Now it just made them want to smoke more and do it more, right? Because now is their way of sticking it to the government. You know what I mean? You're not gonna stop what we like to do just because you throw your weight around. You know what I mean? It happens. You make something illegal, bro. If they make learning illegal, I guarantee you a lot of kids will start learning, bro. Just on the simple fact that it's illegal. Not even making that up. I'm being this serious. The overall psyche of an individual is crazy. I guarantee you, if they were to make some of this stuff illegal, people will start doing it. No lie. That's crazy, huh? Society. Anyway, but overall, it does catch my attention. Like, I find this, fascinating. The human brain and how it works. So, this was not something that came from Mexico or that we were bringing in over here, right? But it was attached to the raza, right? It was made, as like something of evil because it was attached to our people, right? So obviously these individuals who were in the streets being, rebels and stuff like that, chose to adopt that, and be proud of that. You know what I mean? Like I said, different times, and that's the reason why, the stoner was so, commonly used, or why people, refer to their neighbors as stoners and stuff like that, right? But like I said, this is something that these individuals were using, way before, him, which is part of the, the overall, cannabis plant, right? Because they extract different stuff, hashish and, the THC and all of that, right? But it was used to make clothing before, right? Before cotton even became, more of a preference of choice, right? So these people had fields of pure marijuana plants, right? And this was before, like I said, cotton was even before, they had the slaves out there picking and all of that, bro. This was what was used, right? And then, as time went by, they discovered cotton, and now cotton became the new primary source of, what they used to make clothing and stuff like that, right? So this became, obsolete, I guess you could say, right? But obviously people were still using it for, recreational use, medicine and stuff like that. But it wasn't the money generator that it used to be, right? So people now move from that to cotton, right? So, that's the reason why, that kind of fell off the, the hill, right? And it wasn't until, it started spreading, and now people, more doing it, and then now becoming a part of the underground, I guess, scene, or what people see as the illegal life, right? These minorities are doing it, and then that's when it became, like weaponized, right, as something that's, evil or that is bad and stuff like that, right? Because they have no problem with tobacco and alcohol, yet that obviously causes more damage to you and is more dangerous than cannabis, right? But because these individuals like doing it or were doing it, that's the reason why they chose to run with it and made it illegal to begin with. That's crazy, huh? But you don't gotta take my word for it. I'm not making none of this up. Like I said, I always come out here knowing that you guys could just go research what I'm saying, bro. It might spark your interest, and you might want to look it up yourself. So, no, it doesn't come from Mexico. Believe it or not, its roots date back, to Japan you know, so far that we don't. I'm not gonna say that that's bad, you know, because the thing with history is history. You know, we keep finding these new artifacts and knowing more about the past. You know, that stuff starts changing it, right? But as of right now, the traces go back all the way, you know, to Japan. They were doing it in Japan, China, and Egypt way before anybody over here, right? So, no, the Mexicans were not, you know, the creators or whatever the hell. And that's the reason why it was made illegal to begin with, right? It wasn't because it was bad and stuff, blah, 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 blah. It was just, you know, something that these people decided to push just because they had an agenda. You know? But overall, that's just, you know, the overall breakdown. Shit, we out.